So I've been doing card readings the last couple of years, and I predicted Trump's return, and I predicted other events. I'll link it all below as far as Elon helping humanity to see better, as far as the information coming, as far as the little hummingbird of enlightenment, the little bluebird coming. I predicted it all, and I linked it all up. Right around the time that Trump said he was officially running for president, Elon bought Twitter, and the little bluebird or hummingbird has enlightenment with information has come. And then I did a card reading in that where I talked about the storm is coming. Now, I don't always know what's going to happen, but I know to look for key words and key things, not key words, but key things that are coming in the future. And I listened to my key words during the card reading to fall back on, like the little hummingbird, which was a little bluebird on the card, was going to come and show us the attack that had been done to us with the innocent people who had been jabbed and poked with all the swords. And we could see the damage in the battlefield. All right. And so in that linking Donald Trump and linking Elon Musk card readings, the next step that was going to fall was a storm. And not only a storm for the world, but a storm that was going to be seen by the world, in particular for these people that have been pushing all this stuff. If you can stop, take a breath, and just look at from 2020 to here, from before that 2020 election to here, look at everything that has been thrown at us, everything they've used as far as professional sports, using racial, sexual tension, everything, breaking up the sexes and the LGBTQRSRLMNOP to Black Lives Matter to all the stuff, taking a knee for Colin Kaepernick, everything that has been thrown at us, it has been a storm. But the storm is now going to reverse on those who did this to us. And I saw the first foot to drop Monday Night Football in Cincinnati with Buffalo and the Cincinnati Bengals, 1-2-2023. When that man fell, the guy at the bar, nobody knew what happened because the guy fell. It wasn't a ferocious hit. Like you're like, oh, and everybody says that. No, it was a normal game. It was a normal tackle. Everything was going, but the guy stands up and just drops like a hot pocket. You know what I mean? So I immediately say he had a heart attack. Immediately. And then I say the name of it, myocarditis. I think I pronounced that right. But anyway, they're finding in a lot of athletes around the world, but you have to search for these videos. They have 5 to 10 minute videos sometimes of athletes, especially young males, falling on the ground. And it doesn't matter if it's soccer, if it's basketball, if it's tennis, they got bunch of people doing it, but a lot of people haven't seen it. And now I'm starting to see statistics. And I was watching a doctor the other day. I think it was Dr. McCullough, but anyway, it was a doctor, and it was on one of the news feeds I was watching. And he was explaining how the inflammation of the heart, when you get the jab, happens. And sometimes they're starting to put together if a large dose of adrenaline hits the heart, that could cause it to stop. Okay. And they're starting to look into it. This is why it's so important that the vice president of Germany is now finally starting to do autopsies on people who recently died and had the jab. Because they weren't, because Senor Fauci, Fauci over there, was telling people not to. And isn't it so funny that the Fauci files just dropped that same day, or were about to drop? Elon said that day that he was going to drop the Fauci files this week, the same week that player dropped. I wasn't even surprised because I've seen so many videos and I've been doing my research on all this stuff because a storm is coming, and that was the first foot to drop right there. And it's sad that man had to do that, that had to happen to that man, but that's going to happen again and again. It's already happened hundreds, if not thousands of times, recorded in other videos. Okay, this is just the first time the mainstream it happened to them. And if you see how ESPN and all the sports and and Sports Center and everybody reacted, they were thrown off guard. They didn't know what to do. They went on commercial break for like 10, 15 minutes and came back with nothing but talking points that every reporter just kept saying the same thing. We feel sorry for him. We must pray. And with that being said, all you players taking knees, just remember 2 years ago, that knee was for Colin Kaepernick, Black Lives Matter, and all this propaganda to divide the country. And now you're sitting there taking a knee. Get off your Colin Kaepernick knee. You want to ebb and flow. You want to be Colin Kaepernick the next day, and then born again Christians the next. It's getting sickening. All right, you're Black Lives Matter activists one day, and then born-again Christians the next. You're hypocrites. And this is why the storm is amongst you. And I knew it was coming. I'm just sitting there watching the storm just just take over ESPN, just take over your whole Monday night, take over your whole game, shut your game down. It was like a blizzard came in that stadium with the lightning and everything, and you guys had to shut down. That's the storm that's coming for all of you. And you used the one Hail Mary. You had one Hail Mary and you used it that night. And now you're coming out the next day and saying he got hit so hard his heart stopped. This is your one Hail Mary you get. What do you say the next time the next player falls? Because I've already seen 100 different players fall. They just didn't make it to the mainstream media. This, however, did. And just like you guys barked about that Tua, the Miami quarterback, when he got his concussion, where's the barking on this? Where's the asking? Was he on steroids? Huh? Was he taking any type of stimulants? He didn't even ask anything because you didn't want the thought of some kind of drug or substance going into his body because you know it would have been the second thought. So all you did was like, we pray, we pray, we pray. Well, just remember those same praying knees you got on a year ago was for Colin Kaepernick and Black Lives Matter. So that knee, how much does that mean? I'll tell you this, the universe isn't caring because this swirling wind is coming upon you, and that was the first foot to fall. And now we got many more coming. Now we look into our politics. They will not elect a House representative because they're done. The GOP is growing a pair. This is the red wave. It started, and we can't let it go back down. I don't know what's going to happen with that. This is the first year I've looked into the House and the committee and the representative and all the stuff they do. But all I can tell you is that there is a storm to come. And ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing it. We have been under it, and now it is moving to them. The people that promoted the jab, the people that promoted all this racial division, that is the storm that is coming, and it will include the world, because the next card I pulled in that reading, in the linking Elon Musk and Trump card reading, was the world. And how else is the world going to spread this information in this storm? Through your phone, through the media, doing things like that on primetime television. Do you know how many millions of people were watching? Do you know how many millions of people were playing their fantasy football championship in that game? A ton. And then that happened. I looked at it and I said, this is significant. I have to make a video on this. This is what I see. This is when I say there's a storm coming. This is it. And the next step is to awaken the world to all of this. And now that we got the Fauci-ouchie files from Twitter, more and more we just keep moving forward. Hopefully the Supreme Court on January 6th does something. We'll see. That'll be even more of the storm. Do you see how much is going on? The storm entered ESPN. It entered professional sports. It entered the House of Representatives. It's entering the Supreme Court. The storm is not coming. It's here. So let's ride it. All right? With that being said, peace out.